He never shut up. Not when they told him he was too small, not when they said he'd peaked in college, not when the league moved on. Because Baker Mayfield doesn't do quiet. He does chaos, he does passion, he does belief. And in a league built on silence and systems, he's the one man who keeps screaming his own story.
Hey. One word describes this game.
This is the uncensored truth about Baker Mayfield, the walk-on nobody wanted, the #1 pick everyone doubted, and the loudest survivor in modern football. Baker's story starts far from the spotlight. Austin, Texas, a football factory where quarterbacks are born into pressure. But Baker wasn't born into privilege. He was born into competition. He wasn't the biggest. He wasn't the most gifted. But he had something far more dangerous: obsession. Every slight, every doubt, every look of disbelief fueled him. He carried it into every drill, every throw, every word that came out of his mouth. He wasn't built to fit in. He was built to prove you wrong. When he walked on at Texas Tech, nobody cared. No scholarship, no hype, no future, supposedly. But Baker walked into that locker room and immediately owned it. The energy changed. The confidence became contagious. He started games as a true freshman walk-on, the first in Big 12 history to do it. He had everything you can't teach: leadership, urgency, and delusional belief. But politics got in the way. Promises were broken, and suddenly, Baker was gone. No goodbye post, no farewell press conference. He just left and carried that chip to Oklahoma. Another campus, another battle, another chance to be told he wasn't good enough. Only this time, he didn't just win the job, he became the job. At Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield turned football into theater. He wasn't just playing, he was performing. Every pass, every gesture, every scream was part of a larger statement. You will remember me. He taunted sidelines, he planted flags, he talked trash, threw darts, and backed it up every Saturday. Some called it cocky, others called it charisma. But either way, they were watching. He became the Heisman winner, the face of college football, the underdog turned conqueror. And the NFL, a league obsessed with control, was about to meet someone they couldn't control. Draft night 2018. The Cleveland Browns, the definition of dysfunction, were on the clock. And with the first pick, they did something wild. They picked the loudest voice in football. Cleveland hadn't had hope in years. Quarterback after quarterback, season after season of misery. But when Baker walked into that locker room, everything changed. He was electric. He was reckless. He was alive. He didn't just break Cleveland's 635-day losing streak. He broke their curse. The fans who had stopped believing finally believed again. And for a while, Baker Mayfield was the king of Cleveland. But kings don't last long in Cleveland, because the same energy that resurrected the Browns soon became the reason they tore him down. The commercials, the headlines, the interviews, every smile turned into ammunition. When the win slowed down, the critics got louder. Too arrogant, too distracted, too emotional. The city that once loved him now questioned if they'd made a mistake. But Baker's story has never been about pleasing people. It's about surviving them. Everything collapsed. A torn labrum in his non-throwing shoulder, weeks of pain, months of criticism. Any normal quarterback would have sat out. Baker refused. He suited up every week, grimacing through throws that most wouldn't attempt healthy. He said it wasn't about excuses, it was about accountability. But the league doesn't reward pain, it exploits it. Cleveland turned the page. Deshaun Watson arrived, and in one offseason, Baker went from savior to spare part. No thank you, no closure, just headlines. He could have quit. He could have disappeared like so many before him. Instead, he doubled down. Carolina called. A new jersey, a new start, a new chance to prove he could still ignite something. But Carolina was chaos. No direction, no chemistry, no protection. Another season written off before it began. And still, he kept showing up. He kept talking. He kept fighting. Then came Los Angeles, his lowest moment and his loudest comeback. 2 days after joining the Rams, he was asked to start. No time to learn the system. No time to adjust. And somehow, on a Thursday night, with a city watching in disbelief, Baker Mayfield led a 98-yard, game-winning drive. That wasn't luck. That was defiance. The same stubbornness that got him kicked out of Texas Tech had just written one of the greatest short-notice comebacks in NFL history. Then came Tampa Bay, post-Brady, post-Hope. Nobody believed. Everyone called it a bridge year. But Baker Mayfield doesn't do bridges. He builds houses on broken ground. From week one, the energy was different. He wasn't trying to be Tom Brady. He was being Baker Mayfield, raw, loud, emotional, and the locker room loved it. He wasn't the enemy anymore. He was the heartbeat. He laughed with teammates. He barked at defenders. He reignited a franchise that was supposed to fade quietly. By the time the season ended, Baker had done what nobody expected. He led the Buccaneers to the playoffs. He earned a Pro Bowl nod. He earned a new contract. And for the first time in his career, he didn't have to yell for people to listen. So what changed? Not Baker. The world around him. People finally realized something he'd been saying all along. You can't manufacture leadership. You can't fake belief. And you can't silence authenticity forever. Baker Mayfield is authentic chaos. Unfiltered, unedited, unapologetic. And that's exactly why he's still here when dozens of safer quarterbacks have already vanished. The NFL wants you to behave, smile in pressers, say, "We just want to get better next week." But Baker Mayfield doesn't play the PR game. He plays football. He doesn't care if you like him. He cares if you remember him. And whether you love him or hate him, you always do. But here's what people miss. Beneath the trash talk, beneath the bravado, Baker is brutally self-aware. He knows his flaws. He knows his reputation. He just doesn't hide from it. When asked about being the villain, he once said, "If you're afraid to be hated, you'll never be great." That's not arrogance. That's survival. Because in the NFL, you either get remembered for what you did or erased for trying to fit in. And Baker Mayfield has made sure you'll never forget him. He's not perfect, never was. He makes mistakes, says too much, and sometimes plays like a man chasing ghosts. But that's also why he's compelling. He's the anti-hero of football, a mix of talent, temper, and toughness in a league that punishes individuality. And that makes him dangerous, because players like Baker don't just play for stats, they play for identity, for redemption, for the right to be themselves. Cleveland wanted a savior, Carolina wanted a miracle, Tampa Bay just wanted stability, and somehow Baker Mayfield gave them all the same thing: belief. When he walks into a locker room, you feel it. When he wins, it feels earned. When he loses, you know he'll show up again next Sunday swinging. Because that's who he is. Loud, relentless, unbreakable. The uncensored truth about Baker Mayfield: he never stopped being that walk-on kid. The one who was told no so many times that he forgot what yes even sounded like. Every throw, every drive, every word is his way of saying, "I'm still here." He's not chasing perfection. He's chasing proof. Proof that heart still matters. Proof that belief can still beat talent. Proof that you can fall from the top of the world and climb back with nothing but your will. So yeah, he never shut up. He never stopped talking trash. He never stopped playing through pain. He never stopped being himself. Because silence doesn't win. Noise does. And Baker Mayfield is living proof that sometimes you have to be loud enough to drown out your own doubt. He's not a flawless quarterback. He's a survivor. And maybe that's the rarest thing in football today. Because while everyone else is chasing highlight reels, Baker's chasing redemption. One throw, one team, one comeback at a time. He's not done yet, not even close. And if you think he'll stay quiet, you haven't been listening.